Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of FPL Madness. You know what? I'm starting to get pep roulette a bit because I am feeling exhausted just with FPL right now. There's just so much happening, Annie. You know what? In today's episode, we're going to keep it nice and crisp because we're again doing one closer to deadline with a lot more information that we've received. This is a premiere, so please keep in your comments coming in. Let us know what you think, and we'll give you some ideas on the go. We're going to do a quick look at Annie's team today and how he's setting up for this mini double game week with City and Southampton playing twice, what the fallout for the previous game weeks were, and if we need to be planning too far ahead yet at this point. Uh, Annie, thoughts on the big double game week that did not really convert?
What a big dud. Extremely, extremely poor. Genuinely, I think all three of us, we've done very, very poorly. Um, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of managers have underperformed, right? The ones who've taken -8s, -4s. It didn't really pan out.
Yeah.
The wild card, especially the triple captain Kane. It's not like any one set of chip users did better or worse. Some of the bench boosters got away with it by getting those extra points
Yeah.
in. But I'm guessing if you triple captain Kane, you're feeling cheated. If you wild carded it, got in Kane, shuffled your pack, took out Richarlison a week back, and you saw him four
Mhm.
shots on target, four goals in the last 4 game weeks. That kind of stuff stings. But the good news is that a lot of people haven't had bad drops in rankings. Yes, you've not gained, but the red has been too bad. Yes, Kern, not even you. It's not been that bad. You lost about 15,000 spots. It's okay, get over it. I lost about
A
2,000
lot.
spots. As I know, but in the top 10K for me, 2,000 spots was a lot as well. But you know what? I'm also take it on the chin and move on. So you know what? Let's start off with my team and let's get some positive feeling going over here. Right, so we can see the team that I have here. Gundogan has my captain's armband for now, although I'm a little nervous now. Yes, he got a rest in the last game week, so ideally he'll play United. But will he play Southampton? That's the one where you see the points coming in, assuming United pull off another nil-all job on City, right? Apart from that, the obvious other focus is what happened with McCarthy last week. And Foster came in for him. You spoke about it last week as well that Foster could come in for McCarthy. Was it a 1 week move to get McCarthy's confidence back? We don't know. Uh, for me, that's where I'm okay, kind of. I know McCarthy could end up playing, but I'm leaving him on my bench for now. Johnston against Newcastle seems like a good bet. I think Johnston's riding all the luck West Brom have right now. And Newcastle have no Saint Maximin, they have no Almiron, they have no Wilson. Unless Andy Carroll pulls off a 1-0 bad header in the 90th minute, then I'm just going to ride my luck 1 week.
Yeah.
Alternatively, though, I have one free transfer left. I don't think I might make that move for Barnes because I want to play Antonio, I want to play Bamford. Calvert Lewin is worrying me, obviously. So I could then do Barnes out to either Rafinha or James Ward-Prowse, put DCL on my bench. DCL on my bench 2 times this season has hurt me very badly. I don't know if I want that third time pain, but Chelsea really haven't been conceding, right? So I'll come to Chelsea also in a bit. And on
Yeah.
the flip side, if I'm not confident and I'm very nervous about just Johnston against Newcastle, I might just go for Martinez because I have money in the bank to make that keeper move. Want to remind everybody, guys, that last week while I was traveling, I got the episode out, but with internet letting me down, I wasn't able to use my wild card. So I still have it in my bank. Did it work out for me? Will it work out for me? Maybe. I don't know. I guess now's the only time I can use it is after game week 31. I don't think I can use. I don't want to use it now. The way it's going, right? The likes of Rios will be back by then. Gone. So let's go to our transfer strategy, and I will show you what we can actually do. Gone. Before that, your
Yeah,
thoughts
I
on
think, yeah.
these players?
Yeah, I think, you were talking about wildcard, right? And I did my wildcard last week, and I'm just thinking if with all the new information and developments, if I had one more week, it would have been great because my team would have been looking slightly different right now. I'd probably have Diaz in my defense instead of Cancelo,
Mm-hmm.
and probably Rudiger in instead of Stones. So I'd do a single City defense, and that's because I would do a De Bruyne and Gundogan double up in midfield.
Right.
Uh, the casualty would probably be more Salah right now. And I know we're going to sort of get into the premiums not doing enough with Salah and Bruno sort of underperforming the last, I mean, quite a while now, especially Mo Salah. So I really want to bring in De Bruyne this week, but it'll be on a -4. The moves that I'll probably make for that would be, say, either one of Stones or Cancelo making way for Rudiger and Salah potentially for De Bruyne. I'm just not that confident of letting go of Salah yet, especially against Fulham now. They need, I mean, we keep saying this every week, but they really need a response. And
Yeah.
it's not like Salah's underlying stats aren't there. If he starts converting the chances that are falling to him, which he usually would, there'd be a lot more happening for the managers who have him, right? So that confusion is there. In which case, then do I go back to my old format where I had all my heavy hitters with Son back in midfield and then Kane out to make that money move there? So Son, Salah, KDB, Bruno, Gundogan. That's a potential midfield five for me with two strikers, say a Bamford and a Calvert-Lewin or someone of that sort, right? So yeah, if I had my wild card, I'd be doing something like that right now. But anyway, sorry, Annie. Back to your transfer strategy.
No, no worry about that. It's kind of touching upon what I was going, right? Look, so this is what I have with me right now. If I just go with the two strikers up ahead, I have to ideally get in someone for Barnes and Ward Prowess against City. Um, Again, that does bother me, right? Look at City. Look, so they play Sheffield, obviously, but Sheffield seem like they're buoyant, and if they don't get a goal, they could just end up conceding just one again. So I'm not too confident that maybe he'll do that well. Southampton down on confidence, down on their luck right now. They seem to be completely derailing. So in that case, let's say if I do bench DCL, right, I need to get either someone for Barnes or alternatively, I can go for Ben Mee out. So if I take out Ben Mee, I can go like I spoke about the likes of Chelsea, right? Chelsea have been doing very well defensively. Rudiger, like you mentioned, would be a good option for me. That is one of the moves I can do as well. Looking at Chelsea fixtures just for everyone's listening. Yes, Everton seems like a tough fixture on paper, but they've held better sides to a draw, getting just the 1-0 against Liverpool as well. So defensively, they seem like even if they don't get that goal ahead, they won't concede. Leeds 28, a bit of a worry, but I can switch up with the other defenders, right? Blank 29 is something we're mostly free hitting, so I'm not worried about that right now. We can work on that. Maybe a wild card 28, Palace 29 could also work. So that's okay for me right now. This is where it is the goal. West Brom, Palace, Brighton, West Ham, Fulham. City, Arsenal are the only ones tough there for Chelsea. So even if for a keeper, for example, if you're looking at the likes of Martinez out of your reach by 0.3, 0.4, Mendy is a good shout out right now. You can look at Mendy's stats as well. He's currently, sorry.
And Abhishek's been doing really well with
exactly. Yeah, our Pandit Abhishek
so
has had Mendy for the longest
the
time.
third Pandit will highly recommend him, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's had him for the longest time and he's been swearing by him. If you can see 6-10, yes, Newcastle, he didn't play. He was switched out with Kepa, but we don't see that happening. Another bunch of clean sheets against Wolves, Burnley, Spurs. He's got it in the bank, right? And the way Tuchel plays, good shout out there. So, Kern, that is one possible move. Rudiger in for Ben Mee, and Barnes remains on my bench along with DCL. On the flip side, I could just take out Barnes and, like we said, look at the likes of James Ward-Prowse at 5.9. That gives you money in the bank, 1.9 per week. After, do I consider doing a -4? Let's say the only way that would happen is if I get DCL out. But again, that doesn't make sense, right? Because then Ward-Prowse or whoever I'm getting in for is on my bench. So I don't see myself taking a -4 because me and DCL would be on my bench in this case. So all in all, this is what the team would look like. Not too many transfers. Again, other shot out would be Martinez as keeper in over there. I'm just going to do that for anyone who's watching. Martinez just could come in over there till game week 31. Like we said, he has good run. Wolves, Newcastle, Spurs, Fulham. Then Liverpool, City, tough one. West Brom, Everton, and then United. You can see the red arrows there. It's a little downhill after 31. So this, if I do take a -4, this is ideally what it would look like. Like I said, if I'm nervous about McCarthy and though not starting with Johnston, Martinez, James Ward-Prowse in my side, or just simply this. A single move, just play DCL, roll the dice and see how it goes. So not a very tricky or challenging game week in terms of transfers. Are people worried about City, one of Diaz or Stones being rested? The way it's going right now, it could be anybody. I would say stop fretting about who it is and don't take your assets out just yet. They seem to be doing well, right? They're still, Stones, a single game week still got you those 10 points. It's as simple as that. But yeah, Kern, before we move ahead from this and just finish up a general discussion and move on to captains, anything else?
No, I think that's it. It's a very confusing game week. I'm just going to touch upon some of the double game week players, right? Which I'm sure a lot of people are thinking. Southampton assets, and I've been just looking at a lot of the other prominent FPL names on the Twitter, on their blogs and stuff like that, and not many are actually going for that. I think Southampton, even with 2 game weeks, are underperforming.
Yeah,
It's the case where, for example, do you have your Rafinha in your midfield where he could get you a return and say 7 points, or a James Ward-Prowse would be 4 points, even over 2 game weeks, right? So I'm not seeing a lot of people fretting over Southampton players. So I don't think not having Southampton might not be a big point drop for you. But if you just want them as a differential, then maybe a Danny Ings or a James Ward-Prowse or a Vestergaard. These are the 3 ones. But again, Vestergaard, Southampton defensively are just not that good, and you have
yeah,
potentially want to play 3 defenders, and you have good options there with the others, right? So
yeah,
if it would be that fifth midfielder in a James Ward-Prowse in for a Harvey Barnes for those of you who have him,
yeah,
or a Danny Ings for maybe a Calvert-Lewin, but just for this week. As we saw, Everton's fixtures are pretty good. Uh, he'll probably come back in straight after. So just looking at double game weeks, that's what I'm thinking. My other big one, Annie, and this can sort of then lead
Sorry,
into
Con,
captaincy.
before you go
Hmm.
ahead, like you just mentioned, I want to pull up the Everton fixtures for the purpose of everybody watching. Chelsea away, the tough one. Burnley, the blank. But then let's look at that run. Yes, Tottenham, Arsenal seem tough, but
And a potential double game week in there
is
somewhere
exactly so
coming up. Yeah, one
28 could
with
be a
Villa.
double, the one with Villa, which is pending, right? So, like I said, that's the reason why I'm nervy about even making that, like Kern said. I got an Ings out for DCL, and to reverse that and go back to Ings, it's just not sitting well with me. I have the money to do that, get Ings back in, but it's just not sitting well with me because I just don't know if Sheffield will leak those goals for me to balance that out and again get DCL back in next week. I mean, I can do it. I am leaving DCL on my bench, like I said, and it's not sitting well with me. I don't know. Can't continue. Sorry.
Yeah. The easy option would have been, honestly, if Minamino was fit, I think I would have just gone for him. If he was fit, then there was something in me would have just been, just go for that. But with him not, still, I think he's at 75%, still not sure.
Right.
Might play one of the two. I don't think he'll play full 90 in both. So, yeah. And the second one, if he plays at City, right, not the easiest fixture. So, so that's the conclusion with the Southampton ones. I think it's down to gut. And if you really just want to make positions, then getting in the likes of a Danny Ings could potentially do something for you with Calvert-Lewin, and then a straight swap back. Yeah. So coming to the other double game week, and that's City, and then moving in to the captaincy options. My standout captaincy pick for this week, if I had him, would have been Kevin De Bruyne. Just looks already on it. And I think when he's fit, yes, obviously with Pep, I don't think it's anything. I don't think anyone can put any sort of predictability or numbers or anything with his roulettes now, right? So it's about just rolling the dice with it. Uh, Generally, when De Bruyne is fit, he plays, even if it's just 65 minutes. I think United, he'll definitely play. He's going to play starting 11, strongest 11, right? So De Bruyne is going to be part of that. Gundogan is going to be part of that. It's about who's played that Southampton game, where the big points can come in. And I'd take that gamble with De Bruyne because on his day, he can get so many returns, set pieces as well. They have nice big centre backs who like scoring from set pieces. So uh, De Bruyne would be my pick. The only thing is, how do you fit him right now? And if you want to make that one weekly swap, it could be Bruno this week because as you've seen, Bruno Fernandes is
Yeah,
not performing against the big six.
yeah,
Uh, United in general just are looking really tired. I don't see how we're going to score in this game. Rashford looks exhausted. Bruno
yeah.
looks exhausted. Both of them desperately need rest, but the injuries in midfield, the likes of Pogba not there, Van de Beek not there. I don't see how Bruno is getting that rest anytime soon, right? So
Yeah.
uh,
Also, Kern, but the
potentially,
potentially the thing is that for you to make a move for KDB, you need to not have already Cancelo and Stone double up in defense
yeah,
and Gundogan. So essentially, what happens is if you do want to make a move like that, for example, I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's actually a good fun because De Bruyne's ownership is low. So actually, Kern, it's a good thing that you brought up. This is what it would look like, right? For example, let's say for the sake of this game week, like Kern said, Salah is a better option against Fulham. So Fernandez goes out. We look at De Bruyne there. It's not like I can't make this move. Look, I have 6.2. I get back word prowess in here. I can get Rafinha in here. And
You get
essentially end up
Suchek in there.
you can get Suchek in there for and Suchek is a good backup. I'm just pulling up Antonio's fixture for purposes. Leeds United is 28, yes, but then they have a fixture in 29, which is very important, right? That kind of
Yeah.
solves that issue. It's not like you can't do this. Like Kern said, De Bruyne is a good captain option, but you will have to let go of Gundogan and or your second defender. Now, what's happened is the second
Yeah.
defender, Kern, Stones, Cancelo, Diaz. The other has played in the other game, so you kind of actually still end up with
Yeah.
clean sheet points, right? So it's not the worst thing yet. So you do consider that if Stones is rested completely, you miss out on that one player. So yeah, uh,
Yeah.
tough times there. And like Carl, like you said, since we've already touched about a captaincy thing with De Bruyne, let's continue with the captaincy bit and we can wrap up this episode also. KDB, yes, obviously best
Yeah.
captain pick, double coming up. Gundogan default second. Sterling, I'm nervy about because I don't know if he misses a game or no. I think he starts United for sure. Who else? I would
Mhm.
say Son's not a bad shout out. Who do you think?
I think it has to be City. I'd even go as far as say maybe Ruben Diaz. If he's getting the clean sheets, why not? 2 games, 2 clean sheets, that's 12 right there, and 12 from your captain pick is not bad. I mean, if De Bruyne or Gundogan were to get 12 odd points, you'd be happy-ish,
Yeah.
right? My captain picks are honestly purely fit within the City assets. Gundogan, because he rested the last game, logic would think he plays the next two. But with Pep Roulette, there's just no logic anymore. So De Bruyne, Gundogan, Sterling has a history of not performing against United. So again, not a safe pick with Mahrez as rotation. So yeah, either De Bruyne or Gundogan. If you want to go full tilt differential captain, then Danny Ings.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's probably a really, really hard tilt looking at the way they've been playing.
Yeah,
Not
I
doing
mean,
too
is
well,
that
right?
point? Is that time of the yeah? Is that time of the league of like we're around the end right now? So if you're languishing in the millions and you really need to just make ground in your mini leagues, that's the kind of hail mary week you need.
I just want to give another shout out, right? Before we move and close this episode, look, you can always also have an outside chance. You can switch out Barnes for the likes of Mason Mount. It's 6.9 to 6.9. I just pulled out the fixtures here. I meant to do it a little earlier. Sorry, that was the wrong fixture that pulled up. Yeah, so they do play Everton, correct. Then they have Leeds, West Brom, and he's been doing well. I don't know why I
Yeah,
keep closing this. So you can see he did well. Obviously, he got the winner against Liverpool, the only goal. Nothing much in the draw, but again, against Southampton, he got that goal in. He got a goal against Sheffield. He's doing
yeah,
just about enough at that price point to maybe, justify that. Kern, like it's not the worst thing, right?
yeah,
Again, that would be a free move.
yeah,
Mount would come in for me and Lewin on the bench. So it does seem like there are not too many choices, which they aren't, because look at that Grealish, Barnes, Madison, those budget area players which we all were looking at targeting, all out, injured. So people are either with
yeah,
Sterling or KDB, and the rest of them are with Son, Bruno, Salah. So there is not much to go
yeah.
for. So your differentials do come in defense when you have Cancelo or Diaz, and your strikers where people have Kane. I really wanted Kane last week. You know this. I wanted Kane, but I just
It didn't hurt you too much.
for people who are asking me, how do I get Kane? He's at 11.2 now. Look at that. 2.5. I get in. I think the only player I could get in is maybe Reed or someone from Fulham, I'm sure, because I know that many midfielders. I'm just looking at a budget midfielder right now. I know it's going to be a Fulham player itself because there is nobody else. Yeah, so you can see Anguissa, not even Anguissa, Bobby, Harrison Reed, sorry. Harrison Reed is how I go for. Actually, I think I've stumbled across a genius move here with a -4 to get in Kane for the coming weeks, right? But I'm just worried I can't
Yeah,
taking that minus in to start Kane with the way they've looked and the way he's been missing sitters. Is it worth it? For me, like I said before we close, Spurs still feel like a tempting captaincy option if you have Kane on. Obviously, the captain's armband is on Gundogan or KDB or like you said Diaz because of double purely. But Son has surprised us last week as well, so maybe worth not completely ignoring. I think
yeah.
we've covered it all. Con, any closing comments?
No, I think that's it. It's going to be a tricky one. I'm not feeling very confident going into this. I'm still confused if I want to do those move rounds and shake arounds to get De Bruyne in or bank my transfer and have two for next week. let's see how that goes. If I'll be doing that, it'll be for a defender. Uh, One of them will come out, and Rudiger will probably go in there.
Yeah, fair enough. That's something I showed in the start of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Rudiger does seem like a good option, 4.6. Um, Easily worth the value, the way it's going so far. Yes, Thiago Silva is injured, but I don't see Rudiger losing his place to him if he is back soon. Anyway, thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us on this premiere. Hopefully, we are engaging you in the chats as it's going along. Don't forget the deadline is 4:30 while watching this. Don't get too engrossed and not make your moves and not finalize your moves. We will be doing an episode for our free hit teams. Maybe in the next week on, even if it's for 29 or 33, should we do a separate free hit episode? That's what we're looking at, right? Just a good template teams.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. But yeah, that's what is on the cards for us right now. So we'll try to get that out across to you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a better game week than the one which just went by. Don't lose hope. There is still a lot of ground to be made. If you have a chip left, even one chip left can make you that ground. Don't give up yet. You made it so far. Just 12 more game weeks to go. You've got this, guys. Don't give up. Best of luck, everyone. Best of luck, Kern. See you on the other side.
Best of luck, guys. Hang in there.